All right. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome to the Women's Wellness Network and welcome to our guest today. Julie, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
So nice to see you. And we just were having a little chat before we went live, and you were telling me that you're from somewhere, kind of exotic. Well, to me, anyways. So why don't you share with our group where you are, where you are currently in the world?
Currently, I was going to say where I'm from isn't all that exotic, but where I currently live is northern Italy. We're very close to Verona. Um, for if people are looking for landmarks, we're just off the southwest shore of Lake Garda.
Oh my goodness, how beautiful. That's amazing. Well, thank you for coming to the Women's Wellness Network from, a part of the way around the world. We always love to know where people are coming from since we're a global network. And, sometimes the world is a lot smaller than we think it is these days. And it's wonderful to connect with people who are, spread out all over the place. So why don't you just start off by introducing yourself a little bit? Let us know who Julie is.
Oh, sure. I my passion, I'm a women's health coach and a menopause coaching specialist. I also have other certifications. I'm a holistic health practitioner, master herbalist, personal trainer, and I'm studying for a certification to specialize in sleep, stress management, and recovery because that's something we all need help with. And I've been passionate about health and wellness since I was 19 when I lost my mom to cancer. She was only 48. Yeah. So we learned a lot about health during that time. And I had my own issues growing up, and into my 30s and 40s, I had issues of my own with my health. And it made me that much more passionate. In my former life in the US, I spent over 25 years as a corporate HR professional.
Oh,
So I've seen both sides of corporate life and entrepreneurship. And it's been a really, really fun adventure. We moved over to Italy about 11 years ago. I chose to leave my HR career behind, and we came over here for my husband's job. And it was a 3-year contract. And we decided that we loved Italy so much we were going to stay, which was easier because he's British. And this all happened before Brexit. So we didn't have the worry about all of that immigration stuff. But once I left my career behind, I had to decide what I wanted to be when I grew up because I'd always defined myself by my career. That's who I was. So it was a really what do I want to say, growth oriented experience, moving to a new country just before my 50th birthday, learning a new language, learning a new culture, and then completely reinventing myself at that point. It's been I won't say it's been all fun, but it's been really a really amazing experience, and I love where I'm at now.
beautiful. Well, I mean, lots of challenges in life there, and we learn from our experiences. And I think it's awesome that you have both. And you've got the corporate side. You understand what it's like to be in that space. You understand the pressures and the way that that works with, especially with women, because we get stuck in there and we think. We got to be this and we got to be that, and we got to make sure we get the paycheck and all the things that go along with having that kind of life, our expectations and our expectations even of our career, what it's going to look like, how it's going to, move us towards whatever it is that we think we want. But yeah, to have this big move in your life is like a reset. You get to have a new adventure. And you said your mom passed away at 48. I'm so sorry for that. I've been through breast cancer myself, and I totally, I feel for that. And for you, at that time of your life, your mom, you're 48, and you're kind of just after that starting your own new life over in Italy. I think that is so empowering. And to be able to, switch gears, switch careers, decide that, you're going to do something from in here. And that sounds like what you're doing. You're growing in that way and facilitating the world maybe of other people who are in those kinds of jobs that you left. And because you have that little bit of um, back knowledge and foresight, I guess, both and. So how do you like work with women? Can you give us a little idea of what you do exactly when you are working with clients?
Sure. One of the things that usually brings women to me, and I work with another coach in our business, we call it Fabulous Beyond 40, and he is a very gifted coach who I respect greatly. And we decided to join forces because there's so many women starting from age 40 and beyond who are struggling all of these changes to their bodies that they don't understand. Their doctors don't understand. I don't know if you know this, but women's health specifically has only been researched for about 30 years. And when you think about all of the years of health information, women have always been treated like small men, and we are not. Everything from exercise recommendations to medication dosages are all gauged on height and weight rather than our biological sex, which is really, really important because we have a lot of different hormones and our physiology is completely different to men's. So there's not enough information. And my partner and I, we focus on evidence-based information because there's so much stuff out there, all these miracle products.
Right.
And I've been capturing some of the ads that are coming out, especially this time of year. A lot of women come to us for weight loss, but weight loss is really a symptom of other things that are going on with their health. So we are both master health coaches first and menopause coaching specialists as well. So we understand the physiological changes that are going on in the body at this time of life. And when women come to us, their two biggest complaints are weight loss and stress or fatigue. And these things go really closely hand in hand. So we work with very small steps, very simple, basic principles, because women don't need any more to-dos in their lives. They don't need any more stress or thinking about what they should be
Mm.
doing. So when women come in, we start with an introductory call to see if we're a good fit, because of course we can't coach everybody. We need people to feel good about working with us, and we need to feel good about working with them as well. And not everybody's a fit, but we have a huge network of coaches that we like to refer to for people who might not fit with our model. And we use a holistic 360-degree view of health. So we aren't just our number on the scale. We aren't just our blood measures. We aren't just anything. We have all these different dimensions of our life and our health that play into it. So we have our as existential health, our spirituality, if you want to call it that. We have our environmental things that impact us. We have our financial wellness that has a huge impact. We have our professional areas of life. We have our physical health. We have our activity. We have our relationships. We have all of these different things that factor into it. So people think this is my problem, but our goal is to help get to the root of that and stop focusing on what's wrong and start focusing on what's right and start healing the body from the inside out, because it's really possible. I can't tell you how excited I get, the goosebumps, the tears when we see someone have those aha moments and have those amazing transformations, because they're actually doing the work. We are the guide. We say we're not the sage on the stage, we're the guide on the side.
Oh, I love that. Oh my gosh, that is amazing. Not the sage on the stage, the guide on the side. That is brilliant. That's brilliant. I love that. That is because it makes it feel like you're walking with the person rather than uh, teaching or pointing or
Exactly. And
dictating.
and that's what coaching actually is. So if you get to any of these other folks out, because there are a lot, it's a very crowded space. When you're looking at coaching with someone, understanding where they got their certifications. So how do they know this? Because there are a lot of fly by night organizations that are handing out certifications for a few bucks and a 30-day
Right.
um, schooling. And we've been through years, thousands of hours, tens of thousands of dollars of investment in getting really properly educated in these things so that we can make appropriate recommendations that are going to be beneficial. And the kind of coaching we do, everything is sustainable and long lasting. This isn't about going on a diet. You're either on a program or off a program. The programs have an end date, but your health doesn't. So we
Right.
focus on health first. And the rest of those things, once we can shift that mindset into focusing on health, the rest of those things usually fall into place.
Kind of like a puzzle. It kind of, locks in. Get this piece set, and then you can figure out this other piece that connects to it. Like everything's kind of side by side for the picture, the
Yeah.
whole picture of us.
Yeah. Exactly. Because everything, if you make changes in one area of your life, it's going to have an effect on other areas of your life.
Right.
Again, because we don't live in compartments or silos.
Right. Yeah. And you were mentioning about sleep health. And I think that's so important that people don't realize, we're missing out on that healing time if we're not sleeping properly. So can you tell me a little bit about how you work with that?
Sure. A lot of us, we all know that being on our devices late at night isn't good for us,
Right.
but it's really difficult to get away from that. So we like to establish first a bedtime routine that actually works for people. And we advise what we call 3-2-1. No food within 3 hours of bedtime, no work within 2 hours of bedtime, and no screens within 1 hour of bedtime. Now, that's easier said than done for most people. So it's a kind of thing, again, we take small steps and we work our way into it. So we might work in 5 or 10 minute increments or 15-minute increments if we're feeling ambitious. And we might focus on only one of those things at a time. And a lot of people say, well, it doesn't feel like I'm actually doing anything. But the difference is if you think of the tortoise and the hare, right? When you do one tiny thing consistently every single day, you're going to get a whole lot farther than if you try to do everything for a week or two and then quit.
Right. Oh my gosh, that is so true. And I know so many people who do that, right? You jump into something new and you're so excited about it and you're gonna change your whole life and change your world. And yeah, you get in there and you start doing it, and then next thing real life happens and you're overwhelmed and you're doing too much, and it's not maybe the right um, set model for yourself because everybody's different. Obviously, we know that everybody's a little bit different.
Sure. And that's the other thing. The things that we coach on are are what do I want to say? They're customizable based on a person's life. So
Mm.
even if we're working in a group, everything we say, we can take and break down within the context of each person's life. And something that works really well for one person might not work great for another person. And then we try something else because we need to be curious and we need to experiment with these things and give them time
Right.
to work to see how we're going to benefit from them because the changes that we need to make are small and incremental, but over time they become exponential. The outcome just blossoms when we continue to be able to build these small habits and then stack them one on top of the other over time.
Right.
It's not a quick fix kind of process. You might not reach the end of your first month and say, I'm a completely different person because it's not realistic. How many years have we spent building the habits that we have, creating the person who we are, and the belief system and the mindset? And mindset's a word that gets tossed around really freely, and it's not my favorite word, but we can say attitude, perspective, however you want to think about it. And those are the 4 pillars. The 4 pillars that we coach on are think, eat, move, live. Keep it simple, right? And the way we think is the overarching theme because it affects every single decision we make, every single minute of every single day.
Right.
And because we live somewhere between 80 and 90% out of our subconscious mind, our brain is going to automatically revert to the habits we know. And that's why change is so hard.
Uh,
And that's why taking these small steps is a lot less scary because if it feels like it's so small, there's no way that you can not do it, then that's the right step to take.
Oh, I love
Because
that.
it's that taking the action and building the momentum that creates the motivation. It's not the other way around. People say, "Oh, I need to get motivated." No, you don't. You need to take some steps forward and then you'll get motivated.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, I totally agree with the small steps. It's the simplest way. I know I've used it a lot in my own life just to be able to move from one situation where you're feeling stuck, trapped, just flat, even just to implement just one little thing can, as you say, it changes everything. It changes this thing over here that you didn't realize was maybe going to be affected ultimately, right? Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
like just having that, I guess the willingness and um, I guess it really just comes down to that. If you're willing to do it, if you're willing to take that step and make a change and be okay with things changing, because sometimes that's that's scary too. People don't want to do the change because then what?
It's funny you say that because my husband and I have been shifting our diets a bit in recent months, and we've not had any grains for quite a while. I have an autoimmune issue with my thyroid and I'm not supposed to have grains, and he decided to jump on board with me, and he is a pizza lover to the end of the universe. And we I was out visiting a friend on Saturday, and he decided he didn't have much time, so he went and grabbed a pizza and ate it. And the next day he said to me, "It didn't taste as good as I thought it would. I haven't had it in so long." He said, "It didn't taste as good as I thought it was, and I felt really bloated after I ate it."
Uh,
How
right.
many of us take enough of a break to give ourselves time to tune into our bodies like that? And the big thing he said was, "I feel like I have to change my identity. I'm a little sad about that because I've always been someone who loved pizza so much.
Right. Right.
And now it's not that for me anymore. So
Right.
who am I now?"
Yeah, exactly. And something so small that you don't even, you wouldn't even think you lose your taste for something that's your one of your favorite things. Um, but do you really need it? And I guess that's the thing, right? We don't know until we try.
Yes. And we have this belief system that, but I'm supposed to like this, or I'm
Mm.
supposed to be able to eat this, or it's why?
Yeah,
And there comes a point when sometimes it's difficult because when we change, other people aren't used to us not being the way they see us. So that can create some interesting conversations in relationships.
right.
And we also need to allow ourselves to go through a kind of grieving process to let go of that person we were, so that we can continue to become the person we want to be, so we can recognize and acknowledge and celebrate the person we are,
Right.
because we don't need to carry those labels. We get to choose who we are every day.
Here and now. Be present, be with yourself, and decide, right? That's fair. That's totally fair. And we should be able to do that, look ourselves in the mirror and say, huh, today I'm feeling this way about myself and whatever it might be. And be okay to take a little I don't know, if it's a detour even to try something that's different. And if it
Sure.
doesn't work, it's okay. You can change back, right?
So
It's not
you learn something.
yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Okay, if our women would like to find out more about your services, find out more about what you do, find out more about yourself even, how can they connect with you?
Well, I'm on Facebook, and it's Julie Madacey, and Julie is Juli. It's a common mistake people make. And I'm happy to take emails at Juli at fabulousbeyond40.com. We also have a website that's fabulousbeyond40.com. It's a fairly basic website, but you can see a lot of what we have going on
Okay,
in there.
perfect. Okay, awesome. Okay, Women of the Women's Wellness Network. We will put all of Julie's information into the comment section so that you can find out more about her, see what else she's got going on there, maybe connect with her. And you just never know, right? You just never know. Somebody out there might just be looking for exactly what Julie's got going on. So check her out. And Julie, is there anything else you would like to mention or talk about before we sign off today?
The one thing I would like to mention is that my partner, his name is James. James and I have set a big challenge for ourselves to offer 40 free coaching sessions to women over 40 this month. So if anybody's interested in just getting an idea of what it feels like to be coached, these are not sales calls. These are all about you being heard, being seen, and putting a couple of simple steps in place to help you start making progress towards your goals. And these are meant for support. They're 45-minute sessions, absolutely free. And if anybody's interested in booking one, we would love to talk to you. And that they can do that at freecall.fabulousbeyond40.com.
Awesome. That is amazing. What a beautiful offering, especially at this time of year, right? We're coming up to the holiday season, and it doesn't really matter where you are on the planet, or if you celebrate in any way. It's just out there in the world. Everybody's getting crazy. The energy's amplified. The stress is, of
Yeah.
course, gets a little bit nuts. People sometimes lose their way during this time of year, even with, being sad or being, not having people surrounding them. So this
Mhm.
time of year is a great time to start a new program, to really start looking at yourself before the new year comes along, just to see where you're at, get an idea. So, women of the Women's Wellness Network, we are going to put that information into the comment section also, so that maybe you can try it out. Go see what she's got going on, because free, you can't you can't complain about free. And if it's a fit for you, why not get started today? I think that is amazing. So Julie, I wanted to thank you so much for coming today. Your information is beautiful, and I love what you're doing in the world. I love the balance of you, having been in the corporate world and now being in the healing world. And really, I think that helps people relate in a little bit of in a different way. So thank you very much for coming. And women of the Women's Wellness Network, thank you for watching. And of course, until next time, be well. And thank you again, Julie.
Thank you.